Hi guys, I'm Miss Elander, and today we're going to talk about academic discourse. So, imagine this. You're logging on your favorite social media and you go to the comment section. My favorite, currently, is the comment section of my homeowners association. So, bear with me. I know y'all don't own homes, but you do live around this area. So here's some people who own homes near me in Round Rock. Someone needs a new landscaper because we're definitely not using a pro, in quotes. And our trees are never trimmed off the road. Someone gets mad too, and off the fence. And someone else adds, well, Williamson County is responsible and they never do anything. Our vehicles are being scratched up, and our homeowners association pays $20,000 plus a year, and it's still a problem. People are getting fired up to the point where he even says, someone needs to change duty or I'll take care of it myself. Well, when people are mean and aggressive online, the person responsible got really frustrated and responded also frustrated. Says, well, the required height's 8 feet and 14 feet, and they meet those requirements. If you spot one that isn't, please call the people who take care of it. And if you mean taking over duty until it gets resolved, you must call the management company and not expect to be pruning trees yourself. This kind of conversation, while very entertaining, isn't actually productive for changing people's minds. As you notice, people at the top are still going to be mad that the trees aren't trimmed. And the person responsible for taking care of those things is also frustrated that someone feels like they're not doing their job. All across the board, all this does is make people more ingrained in their beliefs and frustrated at the other person. This is how we get these polarized viewpoints, them against us. When in reality, everybody on this Facebook page wants our neighborhood to look nice and the trees to not scratch cars. To get past this, by to get past this polarized belief, what we need to get to the root of is academic discourse. So academic discourse is how we converse with one another. It's the language used in the format, and a format used to help encourage learning, to encourage communication and sharing beliefs, especially in the classroom. So for us, discourse can be a multitude of things. It can be peer-to-peer discussions. It could be your study groups. It could be teacher to student, student to teacher, whole class, small groups. But the whole point of it is, whether it's in person, online, through writing, through discussion boards, it's the sharing of ideas in a way that helps us communicate positively. In short, it's how we share thoughts that encourage learning, critical thinking, and understanding. You notice I never talk about whether something is right or wrong. We're not trying to get at winners and losers. Academic discourse is about understanding. And the key to that is it helps us facilitate better growth within our relationships with people, growth of critical thinking, and it encourages retention of ideas. So it helps you be smarter, be liked more, and also remember things better. Why wouldn't we want to do this? But when we think about it, I'm not just doing this because it makes you better citizens. On top of being something that's just good for our society, having actual discourse like we use in an academic setting allows us to be better critical thinkers through our reading and our writing. It also helps us be clear, coherent, confident, and effective when we're communicating with others, and it helps us be better collaborators. Which, if you didn't notice, are our main course objectives. Tying into everything we want to get across in this class is this idea that communication is key and we need to have positive discourse to do that. Also, currently, right now, in America, the main reason why people aren't being hired for engineering and tech jobs is not that their ability is bad, it's that they don't have the ability to communicate and collaborate with the groups they need to do. So, how can we actually do this in a positive way? It's one thing to say, be respectful and thoughtful in your conversations, and another thing to actually do it. We're talking about beliefs that and we're talking about beliefs that differ from our peers. So when we think about it, we're not debating or attacking or criticizing, but rather we're critiquing to understand. We're debating to develop more knowledge. The goal of academic discourse, again, it's not to prove someone right, or prove someone wrong. The goal is to learn and listen to other people so you can make informed beliefs about the topics at hand. If you only listen to your own perspective, you're not going to have a full view, and you're not going to be able to think critically. So, instead of shooting bullets with our language to attack people and dismantle people's happiness, we want to think of academic discourse as we all bring a piece to the puzzle. We can't see the full picture unless we all contribute our own beliefs, our own perspectives, and our own opinions. So instead of proving someone wrong, we are all bringing our piece of the puzzle to the table. So logistically, how do we do that? So first, the expectation for the discussion is set a moderator. Having someone who can help you facilitate a positive discussion is the best place to start. So first, have someone who is comfortable with the role of redirecting discussions to clarify misunderstandings and coming between members to make sure we're all in a good place. Second, actively listen to each member speaking, both in your body language and in your verbal cues. So if you're in a group of 6 or less, it's going to be easy to be off mute. Make sure you can hear each other. It's a lot easier to talk in a conversation when you hear, yeah, Even if they're quiet, those positive sounds make a significant difference when you're speaking. Also, our nonverbal cues. If you're talking like this, it's not very effective. People get really uncomfortable when people are on their phone or on their iPad or distracted or looking at something behind them. So make sure you're in a distraction-free environment. Make eye contact with the screen or your camera in this case. Nod your head, mirror their behavior. So if I'm over here really sad, you want to be listening thoughtfully. If I'm telling a funny story, you want to be laughing, right? Those kind of interactions that facilitate I'm showing you that I'm receiving what you're saying, and I'm adjusting my behavior to match it. Lastly, when someone else is done speaking, before it's your turn to speak and tell your truth, address the previous speaker and continue the discussion from what they say. So a great way to do this is to summarize their response to the previous speaker and connect to it or ask for clarification. If I have a concern, that's the time to raise it. But if I start by saying, well, I heard that you're upset with the trees on Brightwater. Have you considered calling the company to fix it? I'm sure they want it to be helped too. It is a lot more positive and it's going to facilitate more change than me just yelling back at them. It's okay to disagree with people. I don't want you to turn into yes men, but there's also a way to do it in a positive way. If you disagree, offer some perspective. Our goal is never to attack, belittle, or be rude to someone who has a different belief than you. That doesn't facilitate learning. And encourage other people to share their beliefs and their understandings. We all bring our puzzle piece to the table. Make sure yours is being shared. Your truth is allowed to be spoken. Just make sure your truth isn't attacking another person. So here's some tips to help you do that. There's phrases to show agreement, how to disagree, how to express your belief, and to clarify. And if you notice, all of these come back to the root of avoid absolute statements. Nothing is or isn't totally, in the end, black and white. Things aren't like that. So instead of saying this is that, in my opinion, this, I believe that. While I can understand this, I object to this point. At the end of the day, people like to be in the messy parts of things. We don't usually whole-scale disagree or agree with things. Where we get caught up on things is in the gray details. So by using these statements to help you express your opinion and show that it's your opinion, your perspective, and not absolute, it's going to help you avoid some arguments. So if you're going to add on, there's even statements with, I agree with this because something I experienced. Or if I disagree, I understand that you believe this and that I thoughtfully understood what you said, but I also think this happens because of what. In the end of the day, these discussions might be difficult. It might be adjustment. But at the end of the day, if you really mess up and you say something that hurts someone's feelings, make sure you just own up to it. Say, I'm sorry, it was not my intention. When you come from a place of honesty and genuine apology, no one will hold it against you. So good luck with your conversations today. And I hope you can be respectful, kind, and listen to the other people. Our goal is to receive information, not win an argument.